So I can analyze every object on the six flavors and what it happened. Then this concept that this experience is break down, and I can have this space of seeing that everything can be everything, because nothing is something from its own side. It means that it can be everything, and going to this space, this uncaused, if you want, space of all possibilities, superposition space of all possibilities, when everything, nothing is rendered into something, but so everything can be everything. And in this superposition mind state, if I come with the right intention, which is compassion, I can go back out of this tunnel as a bodhisattva, as a stream enterer. So the idea in meditation on this aspect, that's the Mahamudra. Then there is the Tantric Mahamudra. That's actually the Sutric Mahamudra. The Tantric Mahamudra is again secret in some ways, but the idea is that you go into this superposition of pure consciousness that you can turn into anything. Everything is lucid. There is no render, because as much as you work with results, I work with the whole picture. With the picture is already there, I can change it and modify it a little bit all the time, but I can't really transform it into something else. But I go to where the picture was not even rendered, it's just an option in this divine consciousness, whatever. And in that moment, if I go and in that moment there is no me, so I cannot control anything. But if I go to that superposition with the right intention, that intention will filter in, and then I go out of it in a very different way. So the idea is you want to go into the superposition and pure direct emptiness view of emptiness with the mind of compassion, and then you go out of it as a bodhisattva. You stream enter into become something very different, basically into somebody who's about to become a Buddha. Or some say you can turn immediately into a Buddha, spontaneously into a Buddha. That's a matter of philosophy. But technically, I mean, philosophically, why not be possible? They say mostly it doesn't happen that way. You have to have 4 levels. In Theravada, you have 4 thought moments like this after stream entry to become an arhat. In Mahayana, say it takes like 20 minutes, and that 20 minutes you are totally in this pure void, but you experience like past, present, future afterward for 24 hours. You see the future, how you're going to become a Buddha, and so on. It's a very amazing reality, and then you fall back from it and become like normal, almost. But doesn't matter. This learning was so deep, your mind will already get into perfection through 7 rivers. So they say if you practice, you can go much faster. But even if you don't practice at all, even now all you do is watching Netflix, whatever, you become a Buddha in 7 lifetimes. Even after you got stream entry in Theravada, all you do is sitting on the beach in Goa, you're still going to be in 7 lifetimes an arhat, let's say, because it's such a deep impression that the cause of it will lead to enlightenment. So emptiness is actually the way to become a Buddha, not to become necessarily a liberated person, but to become a totally enlightened being, which is not the same. A lot of people also is totally enlightened, and enlightened become a bit cheap in this aspect. So enlightened in Buddhist idea is not somebody who has some insight of the deeper reality. It's not even somebody who is free and don't have any mental affliction, which is already very rare. People don't have greed, anger, delusion, don't have any identification with the personality, whatever. Mostly, it's not this. Enlightenment, full enlightenment, is that you are a Buddha. You have perfect compassion, perfect awareness, perfection of your ability to, perfect clairvoyance, perfect generosity, perfect wisdom, perfect patience. You are like the perfect machine to save all beings from suffering, which cause you to project yourself, helping all beings to the top of your ability, which always maintain your projection of perfect Buddha paradise. Basically, that's the only way they claim to become fully enlightened. And some people can reach this perfect compassion, the pure compassion, before they reach this direct expansion of consciousness of emptiness. For example, one of my Buddhist teachers say that Baba Ramdas, he was not Buddhist, he reached this perfect compassion. He already going to become a Buddha sooner or later, even though he doesn't understand emptiness. The Hindu way in which he learned was not bringing him to this experience of emptiness, but he does have this perfect heart open. And actually in many traditions, also Jesus, for example, what he's dying for, at the moment of death, he say, please God forgive them, don't know what they're doing. After 24 hours torture, after being crossed, he still have perfect compassion, which is far above personality. So that person definitely reached this pure compassion level. And he also eventually returned to a Buddha when he have this insight, and so on. So every religion in a way have this at least aspect of the aspect of compassion, if not both, some idea or some level of emptiness and compassion. Yeah.
And where do you think comes this why life look for bring this like you
While,
you say like this harmonious things like
yeah.
this harmonious energy with
Mm-hmm.
when we reach alignment we are in the energy to help other people
Yes.
to bring harmony
Mm-hmm.
to bring harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Why I don't know, yeah.
Why do we have compassion? Why we
why
reach
why
enlightenment?
why it's inner in life, like where is come from?
So again, it comes from wisdom, understanding first that we're all connected, understanding that whatever karma, when you understand karma, for example, everything you do to the other comes to you. So then you want to make the best to other people, so you have the best. So that's the basic level. That's when you are still very selfish.
Yeah,
But when you purified more, it's not just because you want to have a good life, you create good life for others. It's because you see that you are all very deeply interconnected. And it's like like there are meditations like this, it's much before you understand, for example, that why you prefer yourself than other. You want to be happy just as the other person want to be happy. And just as and the third person is just as the snail want to be happy. And just we are all common that everybody want to be happy and no one have to have suffering. Charles Manson also want to be happy. I don't know. People who are monsters, they want to be happy. At the core, it manifests with a lot of ignorance, with a lot of horrible, horrible thing, but he wants the same. He just have more ignorance. So then you say, why would I prefer my happiness before other people's happiness? I want to act for the sake of all people's happiness, for example. And you can, in Buddhism, we also say, for example, we all incarnate for so many times. So you can say that from time without beginning. So every being was being a mother before. And as a mother, he take care of us. Today in the West, some mothers are very narcissistic. So it's not such a good metaphor, but every being, in a way, if you take the Tibetan idea that mothers are still good, like every being was before carrying us, feeding us at least once or so, because it's from time without beginning. This logic is flawed, but this is meditation that in Tibetan Buddhism do. If you go to the level of, like, I give you an example which is in Kabbalah is very common. They say that what is the idea? There are two frequencies in the universe. One is for selfishness and ego, feeling separation, and one is for oneness, that everything is connected, interconnected with all things, which is called God, if you want. This is actually the meaning of the term Elohim. It's that the higher, all these names mean different things in this spiritual reality, but everything is connected, or Yudke Vavke, whatever. It's a matter of. There's a lot of different things in this.
yeah,
It's a
because
whole lecture, but just for the idea. So you start where you are, which means you start by, even you don't feel like it because you are selfish and you only care for yourself because you feel separation very strong. You just give because this is how they tell you to give. This is what's important. This is a mitzvah. This is like the vow. You have to take vows in Buddhism. In Mahayana especially, you take special vows, like 200 something vows sometimes. It depends, on in the Theravada, it's 5 precepts, and you have 10 precepts, and you have it doesn't matter, 200 precepts, and you have the Bodhisattva precept, the monk precept, the Bodhisattva precept, the Vajrasattva, the Tantra precept. You have tons of precepts you can take, and I'll do that because that's what I'm supposed to do. Why do you use precept is also very interesting, but maybe not the question. But there is a time when I do it enough that I start just changing my frequency. Because when I give, if you want, God is only giving, you can have receive from anything, or the pure consciousness is only giving, only love. Whenever you go to this pure awareness, is only love. It's Satchitananda, it's bliss, pure knowing, pure being, pure love in a way, or pure bliss even. But it's like love, that's what you feel there. So you start assimilate being in the same tune. If before you are on the radio tune of, I don't know, selfishness, and on the radio tune when you give, even if it's just from selfishness, but the same action put you more and more in the frequency of the giver, of the cosmic giver. And then you feel, wow, it's so great to give, because it's actually the price of giving is not that I get good karma. It's that the moment I'm giving, I'm in tune with something which is far more noble and beautiful in the world, and I want to stay on that all the time. And then it's not even that. It's because I understand it's all oneness. It's all interdependent. It's all about. It's like whatever I see me in this space reality of this all this information that come on the screen. I create only one little part of it me, and the other part of them is also an illusion. And I want the whole screen to be happy. I want the whole mental space to be happy, whatever it is, all being in the world, in my world, because I can only see what I project. So I want all to be happy, and I do it because this is the right thing, because this is the only thing I can do when I'm on that frequency. Nothing else I can do. And that's higher motivation. It's called pure motivation, spontaneous, pure motivation. That actually create the best karma. But you have to be there. It's like when you are a millionaire, it's much easier for you to make money because you can invest $1 million. But when you are a very poor person, sometimes all you can do is, I don't know, give a part of your pizza to a beggar. You know, that's all we can do. So please do that. If you can't act like a bodhisattva with pure action, having pure countless being, at least give the part of your pizza. Please give a potato. Start with something.
It can be just given attention to someone.
Or give an attention, whatever. And actually, it's very good to start in small steps, because let's say it's not my level to give somebody a kidney. It's a very good deal, but afterward I will feel regret. I feel, oh, I was cheated. I ruined the good karma. I can't be happy on it. I will have regret to it. So it's better to start with carrots and potatoes and laughter, and a piece of your pizza. Should be a vegan pizza, obviously. Than to give something big and then regret it. You have to be happy and rejoice in what you did. So that's actually the way to create this perfect Buddha paradise, and we all reach there soon. Okay, great.